In a world where alliances are shifting faster than desert sands, a renewed defense pact between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan has sparked curiosity and concern. But beyond the headlines, a deeper question emerges. Can Riyadh truly back Islamabad when India has become one of Saudi Arabia's largest trade and strategic partners? Welcome to Strategic Vanguard. Today we uncover the hidden dynamics behind the Saudi-Pakistan agreement, its implications for India's rise in West Asia, and why Saudi Arabia can no longer afford to alienate New Delhi. Before we move forward, please like, share, and subscribe Strategic Vanguard and be up to date with the latest news and happenings from the world of defense, strategic, and international affairs. Tune into our video channels in YouTube and Rumble. And if you want to hear the audio version, tune into our Strategic Vanguard channels in Spotify and Amazon Music. The Saudi-Pakistan relationship is often described as brotherly, but in reality, it's a marriage of necessity, shaped by oil, money, and military manpower. Since the 1960s, Pakistan has been Saudi Arabia's security insurance policy. Pakistani pilots trained the Royal Saudi Air Force. Pakistani troops guarded the holy cities during turbulent times. And when Riyadh needed allies to counter regional threats, from revolutionary Iran to the Houthis, Islamabad was just a call away. Yet, over the past decade, the dynamics have quietly shifted. Pakistan's economy has crumbled, its political system is unstable, and its army, once the symbol of regional strength, now struggles with internal insurgencies and a shrinking defense budget. But Saudi Arabia's ambitions have grown far beyond the confines of old alliances. Under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030, Riyadh is reinventing itself, from a conservative monarchy to a global investment powerhouse. In this context, the latest Saudi-Pakistan mutual defense reaffirmation is less about ideology and more about insurance, a reminder that old partnerships still have their uses. For Pakistan, this agreement is not about choice, it's about survival. Riyadh has been Islamabad's lifeline during every economic crisis. When Pakistan's foreign reserves collapsed in 2023, Saudi Arabia deposited $2 billion directly into its central bank. Add to that billions more in oil credit and remittances from millions of Pakistani workers in the Gulf. Without Saudi goodwill, Pakistan's economy could grind to a halt. But there's a strategic price. Whenever Riyadh's regional rivalries heat up, be it in Yemen, Syria, or against Iran, Pakistan is expected to provide political or even military backing. In 2015, when Saudi Arabia launched its campaign in Yemen, Pakistan hesitated. Its parliament voted not to send troops. The result? Riyadh was furious. Diplomatic ties froze. Financial aid slowed. Since then, Pakistan has been walking a tightrope, trying to please both Riyadh and Tehran, while ensuring that its military commitments don't overextend its already strained forces. But this time, the equation is different, because India is no longer a passive observer in the Gulf. Over the past decade, India and Saudi Arabia have undergone a quiet transformation in their relationship, from transactional trade to strategic trust. The numbers tell the story. Bilateral trade has surged to over $50 billion annually. India is Saudi Arabia's fourth largest trading partner and one of its biggest energy customers. But the real shift lies beyond oil. In 2019, Aramco, Saudi Arabia's energy giant, signed a landmark deal to invest in Reliance Industries' refinery and petrochemical complex, marking one of the largest foreign investments in India's history. Meanwhile, New Delhi has been invited to invest in NEOM, the futuristic megacity on the Red Sea coast, central to Vision 2030. This is not mere economics, it's strategic diversification, a recognition that India's rise cannot be ignored. For Riyadh, India represents energy security, a stable market, and a technological bridge to the digital future. And for India, Saudi Arabia is the gateway to the broader Middle East, a region vital to its energy, diaspora, and trade routes. To understand why Saudi Arabia cannot afford to alienate India, we must see the bigger chessboard. Across the Middle East, new power blocks are forming. The Abraham Accords have normalized relations between Israel and much of the Arab world. The U.S. pivot to Asia has left a power vacuum that regional players like China, India, and the Gulf monarchies are now racing to fill. Riyadh's outreach to Beijing is pragmatic. Energy for technology, investment for influence. But when it comes to strategic stability, India offers something China doesn't: trust and demographic power. With nearly 8 million Indians living and working across the Gulf, India has become an integral part of the region's social fabric. Indian engineers, doctors, and professionals are building the very future Vision 2030 promises. This makes India not just an economic partner, but a strategic stakeholder in Saudi Arabia's internal stability and transformation. So why did Saudi Arabia renew its defense pact with Pakistan now? The answer lies in strategic hedging. Riyadh knows Pakistan remains useful, a source of trained manpower and a symbol of Islamic solidarity. It's also a convenient deterrent card against Iran. But in real terms, Pakistan's military capacity has declined. Its economy is near collapse, and its foreign policy is increasingly reactive rather than proactive. By reaffirming defense ties, Saudi Arabia sends a symbolic message to the Islamic world that it still leads and Pakistan still follows. Yet behind the scenes, Riyadh's real calculations are economically driven. It cannot and will not jeopardize billions of dollars in trade and energy deals with India for the sake of outdated loyalties. In any India-Pakistan confrontation, Saudi Arabia's most likely position will be strategic neutrality. Riyadh may offer rhetorical support to Islamabad, but it will stop short of taking sides. The reason is simple. India's economic gravity is far too strong. If Riyadh faces limits, Pakistan faces a trap. By reaffirming its defense pact, Islamabad risks getting drawn deeper into Middle Eastern conflicts it neither understands nor benefits from. Already, Pakistani troops serve in Saudi territory under training missions. If tensions escalate with Iran, or if the Yemen conflict reignites, Pakistan could be pulled into wars that have nothing to do with its national interests. The irony is striking. Pakistan's military, once seen as the protector of the Islamic world, now risks becoming a proxy participant in Saudi regional rivalries. Meanwhile, back home, Pakistan's borders are aflame with insurgency. The economy is in free fall, and its global credibility, after decades of instability, is eroding fast. Every soldier sent to defend Saudi interests is one less available to stabilize Pakistan's own frontier. That is the dangerous trade-off Islamabad faces, and one that New Delhi will watch very carefully. Before we move forward, please like, share, and subscribe Strategic Vanguard and be up to date with the latest news and happenings from the world of defense, strategic, and international affairs. Tune into our video channels in YouTube and Rumble. And if you want to hear the audio version, tune into our Strategic Vanguard channels in Spotify and Amazon Music. For India, this evolving equation presents both opportunity and challenge. On one hand, India's measured diplomacy and economic rise have earned it goodwill across the Gulf. From Oman's ports to the UAE's logistics hubs, Indian partnerships are quietly weaving a web of strategic connectivity. Projects like the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor are redefining how trade and energy flow across continents. And unlike Western powers, India brings no ideological baggage, just pragmatism and partnership. On the other hand, India must maintain delicate balance. Iran remains a key transit link for its Chabahar project and access to Central Asia. At the same time, New Delhi's growing closeness to Saudi Arabia and the UAE gives it unprecedented leverage in regional diplomacy. If Pakistan gets entangled in Middle Eastern politics, India's relative stability and economic depth will make it the preferred partner for Gulf investment. Riyadh knows this, and that's precisely why alienating India is not an option. For decades, Pakistan's foreign policy was built on ideology, religion, solidarity, and defense cooperation. India's, in contrast, has evolved around economic influence. Today, energy and investment, not religious affinity, determine Saudi Arabia's partnerships. The Aramco-Reliance deal, the invitation to invest in NEOM, and India's growing presence in Saudi industrial zones all signal the same truth. Economic pragmatism has replaced religious politics. In Riyadh's new worldview, India represents a future-proof partnership, anchored in technology, growth, and stability. Pakistan, meanwhile, represents the past, debt, dependence, and diminishing returns. Saudi Arabia today is playing a complex game of balance between China, India, and the United States. Beijing remains an economic partner, Washington a defense ally, but India is emerging as a geo-economic bridge between the Indo-Pacific and the Middle East. This triangular balance gives Riyadh flexibility, but also vulnerability. To sustain its Vision 2030 ambitions, Saudi Arabia needs investors, markets, and talent, all of which India can provide. At the same time, Riyadh cannot afford open hostility with Islamabad, which still commands influence in parts of the Islamic world. The result is a carefully calibrated diplomacy, symbolic friendship with Pakistan, but strategic partnership with India. Before we move forward, please like, share, and subscribe Strategic Vanguard and be up to date with the latest news and happenings from the world of defense, strategic, and international affairs. Tune into our video channels in YouTube and Rumble. And if you want to hear the audio version, tune into our Strategic Vanguard channels in Spotify and Amazon Music. The future of the Saudi-Pakistan relationship will depend on how both adapt to new realities. Pakistan must realize that loyalty cannot replace performance. And Saudi Arabia must recognize that stability in South Asia is vital to its own economic transformation. India, meanwhile, must continue its silent diplomacy, strengthening ties through trade, energy, and connectivity, while avoiding entanglement in the Middle East's sectarian rivalries. In this new era of pragmatic geopolitics, influence flows from economic credibility, not military muscle. The renewed Saudi-Pakistan Pact may grab headlines, but the real story lies beneath the surface. Saudi Arabia's foreign policy is no longer shaped by religious alignment, it's shaped by strategic necessity. And in that equation, India stands as an indispensable partner. A market too large, an economy too vital, and a power too stable to ignore. As Riyadh looks eastward for its next century, New Delhi's presence will loom larger with every passing year. Because in the corridors of global power, respect is not given, it is earned. And India has earned it through resilience, economic might, and strategic balance. In the shifting sands of West Asia, alliances may change. But one thing is clear, Saudi Arabia can no longer afford to alienate India, because the future, like the oil that fuels it, now flows eastward. Thank you for joining us on this Strategic Vanguard deep dive. If you found value in this analysis, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We bring you fresh deep dives every Wednesday and Saturday here on YouTube and Rumble, and you can also catch the audio versions on Spotify and Amazon Music. Just search for Strategic Vanguard Deep Dive. For more insights, articles, and discussions, subscribe to our blog at strategicvanguard.com. Your support helps us grow and bring you more in-depth analysis on defense, geopolitics, and strategy. Until next time, Stay informed, stay strategic.